fucking spilling my pop here. It's ridiculous. Hey, welcome to the podcast. My name's Kyle, and to my immediate left, as always, is
Jess.
And today we're going to watch the movie Alien.
Sweet.
Jess, what do you know about Alien?
I know that they're like black fuckers with like really long heads.
Okay.
And they like pop out of your chest.
Alright, that's fair. Have you seen any of the Alien movies?
I've seen Alien vs. Predator.
Well, I got some exciting news for you. This movie, along with Alien vs. Predator, the sequel, don't actually take place in the same universe.
Okay.
Totally different universe. It's kind of like how there's the MCU and like Fox. Like the Fox X-Men movies.
Yes.
Like, not related.
Okay.
Alright, well, let's throw it on. We'll do the transition music so you know that we're done watching it, and we will discuss your experience watching Alien. Just give us a moment.
See you in a bit.
First screening of Aliens.
It was okay. Definitely wasn't my favorite movie.
No? So I don't even have to ask. You're probably not going to want to watch it ever again?
I'm okay if I never see it again.
What scene was like your favorite scene?
Probably when she blew up the ship at the end.
Yeah, I guess that was kind of cool. Was like any of the twists unexpected to you, or?
The fact that that one dude was a robot.
You didn't see that coming, eh?
No.
Well, I have a confession to make.
What?
I have never seen Alien before.
What did you think of it then?
I thought it was okay. I didn't think it was that great, if I'm being honest. It looked really low budget. Like, all of the ships kind of looked really cheap, like toys, models. The background didn't really look like CGI. It just kind of looked like it was paintings, like old Star Trek episodes.
Yeah.
And there was one point in the movie where if you told me they lost all the funding, I would believe that. Where when she kicks the alien out of the spaceship, it didn't even look like there was no stars or anything. It was just like a black soundstage.
Yeah, exactly. It was not the best.
The alien design was super cool.
Yeah, I guess.
See, I know a little bit more about the franchise than you do, but did you kind of notice how like the design of the aliens was like similar to the design of the ship? Like
I did not see that at all.
Not the ship they were on, the ship that they went to find the aliens. I remember when the guy's like on the rope and he goes down to like that lake where all the eggs are. Did you notice that like the interior building of the ship kind of had like the spiny alien look to it?
Yeah, I guess. Yeah, because I was kind of thinking like, are they like inside like a giant alien right now? Like a hollowed out carcass and they just don't know it?
I noticed about the movie is that I guess in the future, like, aliens aren't really not known. Because when they stumble upon the ship and there's a giant mummified alien sitting there, they're not like, oh my god, it's an alien. They're like, oh, it's an alien.
Yeah, they're like, oh, okay, aliens exist.
But they didn't say what type of alien was, so I guess they were kind of like, whatever.
Yeah, they didn't really care about it.
Here's an interesting fun fact for you. The original title of the film was going to be Star Beast. When the screenwriter Dan O'Bannon was writing the draft of the screenplay, before it became Alien, the title was Star Beast. But he didn't like it, and he was suggested by another writer to come up with a different name for it.
Okay, so he just came up with Alien, which seems a little less creative.
Well, actually, how he came up with it was when he was writing the dialogue for the crew members, they were discussing the alien, and the word jumped out at him. So he switched the title with Alien. And personally, after seeing it, I didn't really realize that, like, I heard of, like, the plot of that they find a ship, and the alien's on it, and then the alien gets on their ship, right? I never got the impression from anyone telling me about Alien that the alien, like, that it was an alien ship. I always got an impression it was a human ship.
Oh, like where they found the alien initially?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's kind of silly having a movie called Alien where it's not even it's not the only alien in the film. Like, yeah, obviously they're referring to like maybe that's the mislead. Like when it first came out in 1979, maybe people who were watching it for the first time, because to us, like, we know what a facehugger is, we know the alien's gonna come out of his chest, like, that's just things you know. Like, if you've seen Spaceballs, if you've like talked to anyone who, like, you've seen Alien vs. Predator.
Yeah, and I mean, Family Guy does have a lot of pop culture references that I've never seen before, so that's kind of actually where I saw it first.
So maybe for all we know, like, them calling it Alien was like a mislead, so like the audience who first like saw it would be like, oh, that the alien they're talking about is the giant mummified one.
Maybe.
So why would you assume that the alien design is similar to the inside of the ship?
Maybe it's the alien ship?
When Ripley Scott, the director, was like coming up with designs for the aliens, he hired like an artist that he like admired. Mm-hmm. And the artist designed the aliens and also designed the ship. So it'd almost be like if you had Tim Burton design like characters in a ship, like even if they weren't related,
they're
like,
gonna look very similar because
yes,
it's the same art style.
Yeah, without giving away too much, like obviously later on in the franchise, you find out where the aliens come from, and they actually do come from the giant alien. So that's why like the giant alien's costume, like it looks like an exoskeleton of the alien, like that's done intentionally.
Okay.
So the movie Alien had a budget of $11 million, which makes a lot of sense when you see it.
Is that a low budget?
Yeah, it's a low budget.
It's a low budget?
Yeah, even in like the 80s, well, 1978.
I don't know anything about like the movie industry.
Well, real quick, as a reference point, let's pick Marvel. Oh no, let's do a movie you understand. Harry Potter, the first one.
Okay.
Okay. How much would you think that cost to make?
Well, if 11 million's low budget, I don't know, like 50 million?
125 million.
Holy fuck.
And obviously, like, there's inflation because Harry Potter was made in 2001 and this was made in 1979. But if you round up and round down, that's 1980 and 2000, which is 20 years, basically. Yeah. 21 years, give or take. Exactly 22 years. Yeah, that's like, and that's Harry Potter, like the first movie. It's not like that's even the most expensive Harry Potter film.
Yeah, or even the best done Harry Potter film.
Yeah, like it's a real shame. Like I'm kind of glad, fingers crossed, that the other Alien movies exist because the Alien design is actually super cool on paper, but it wasn't executed very well in the film. Like if you notice, like they didn't really show shots of the alien.
Yeah, I that kind of pissed me off too because the movie's called Alien and you barely see the alien.
Yeah, but when you do see it for too long, you understand why you barely see the alien.
Yeah.
He looks terrible. Remember that one point where they're in the vents and he just like puts his hands up, jazz hands?
Yeah.
And you can just tell it's a guy in a costume?
Yeah, it wasn't well done. But, I mean, it's also 1979. Mm-hmm. Obviously, you're telling me it's a low-budget film, so... Well,
you actually point out something very interesting very relevant. What did you say when you saw the one doorway? The circular doorway?
Oh, yeah, it opens like it kind of looks like a butthole.
Yeah, that actually might be by design.
Okay.
Because what would freak out a man more than anything else? Like, more than being killed?
Commitment.
You're not wrong. Rape.
Okay.
So you know how like every like horror film, like they're always trying to like take a concept and flip it on its ass. Like Halloween is like, what if you died from someone in a Halloween costume on Halloween?
Yeah.
Like they take like premises, like the movie Carrie, a lot of people argue is like about a woman like going through puberty and like a horror version of that.
I've never seen Carrie.
Well, I'm not going to talk about it. We're not doing the Carrie episode, but essentially it opens with her getting her period and she's freaking out because she's becoming a woman. Then she gets superpowers, she gets covered in blood, and she kills a bunch of people. So a lot of people think like that's like the embodiment of period as a horror film. Jaws is the embodiment of, going into the water as a horror film. Alien is the embodiment of being raped as a horror film.
Okay. I kind of see that.
Like think about the design of the alien.
Yeah.
What's he look like?
The head looks like a giant penis.
Yes. And just like let's go through the steps. So like first thing, the face hugger, what does it do?
It, as the name implies, hugs your face. It like latches onto your face, and I guess it implants like the little tiny alien baby into your body so it feeds off of you and grows.
Yeah, so it holds you down and like rapes you and puts a seed inside you.
Oh my god, that's like an unwanted pregnancy too.
It is, yeah. Imagine like, and that's like the worst part. So you're like walking around, and this doesn't really apply for this film, but I assume it'll apply for the next ones where they kind of like catch on like what's gonna happen, like when the person gets the face hugger on them.
Yeah.
So you're walking around with like your rapist's like baby inside you.
Yeah, that's fucked up in itself.
And then like what happens to like the next step? The chest popper, or like whatever they're called. What does it essentially do?
It's being born. It rips you open so that it can live.
Yeah, but it's dick shaped too, so it's almost like a reverse rape. It's like instead of a dick like going through you, a dick is coming out of you.
That is like disgustingly disturbing.
Well, yeah, Ridley Scott wanted like the person like squirming in the seat. So Star Wars helped Aliens get made because like I don't know if you noticed it, but it had a lot of like the scenery looked very Star Wars-esque, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, and like the two like screenwriters who wrote it, like they tried to get it made and like no one wanted to make it, right? So they bounced from company to movie company, and then Star Wars came out in 1977, and it was such a big success that like Star Wars being a huge like space film made people want to make Alien.
Cool.
Yeah. Do you think that you'd want to watch the sequels, or do you think after seeing Alien vs Predator and Alien that you're kind of done with the whole Alien franchise?
I feel like I get the theme of the movies.
Yeah.
I don't think I need to watch the others to know what the hell's going on.
That's fair. I think we should watch Aliens just because I've heard it's the best one.
Okay.
And, everyone loved Alien apparently, so now I feel like Aliens would be Alien with like a higher budget.
Well, let's hope. Because if it's the same type of thing, I'm going to be disappointed.
That you actually almost like rewrote the movie in a better way. What were you saying when like King gets the face hugger on him and they want to go in the ship, but Ripley's like, can't have it.
Oh yeah, like the entire plot of the movie could have been avoided had they listened to Ripley when she's like, you know what, I can't let you in the ship. We have a mandated 24-hour quarantine. And they were all like, well, no, we need to get him on. And it's like, had you just listened to the woman, nobody would have died except maybe Kane.
Yeah, and that was a good point. But then I pointed out that one of the three people like in the elevator in the doorway trying to get in was a female, and she's the one who's like, let us in. So yeah, they had enough male characters that they would have switched it around. So like Ash was outside or Dallas, then it could have been like a more of like an analogy for like people not like listening to women, and in doing so like everyone dying.
Yeah.
One thing I'll say real quick that I found really peculiar about the film that no one really mentions is that cat Jones gets a lot of screen time.
Yes.
Yeah.
Maybe it was just to play up like the cute factor, because I mean, he's a pretty cute cat.
Well, there's a term in screenwriting called save the cat moment. That's usually done in the first act, not the last act of a film, where they'll have the main character like save a cat. Hellboy, they do it quite literally, where there's like a box of kittens in the subway, and he picks it up and like is holding it while they're like trying to like kill like the bad guy. But it doesn't always have to be a cat. You show the hero doing something like sweet, like in the beginning of like Green Lantern when he like goes to his nephew's birthday and gives him like an airplane. Yeah. And then the nephew isn't in the film at all. That scene's there to show you that like how Jordan is like a nice guy.
Okay, yeah, to show that they're the good person. We're setting this up now.
Yeah, so I'm wondering if the cat's there because it's like the save the cat moment
throughout the entire movie.
Yeah. Oh.
The cat does that a lot, and I think the cat was there throughout the whole movie because it was easier to have the cat do the jump scare than to have the alien.
All right. Well, we're gonna do something besides aliens next week. I'm gonna jump scare aliens on you. You're not gonna know when it's gonna come.
Oh no, guys.
But till next time, thank you for listening. Don't forget to subscribe.
So.